Now we're live.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Oh.
Hopefully we have good signal. You're like way taller than me. Going up.
Well, that's just a life thing.
Except this isn't good for posture. I'm not setting a very good example. All right.
Yeah, neither am I.
Good morning, afternoon, evening,
Good morning,
middle of the night.
everybody.
It's middle of the night. Go to bed, please.
If it's middle of the night, it's time to get up and do stuff.
And drink some green juice. Have you been drinking your green juice?
From time to time.
It's so good.
It's so green.
I get that powder stuff from Costco, and it's got vegetables and
Fruit.
fruit and I don't know what else, but the flavor is really good.
Yeah, it does
And
taste good if you shake it up enough. Or stir
there's
it
not
up
a ton
enough.
of additives in it or any. I think I usually try to get it clean. Green. Anyways, we're back at it. It's Tuesday. Summer's going to be a little bit wonky with our recording schedule. We're going to try to do Mondays at 9 a.m. But today we're Tuesday.
Somebody was on an airplane yesterday at 9 a.m.
I was. So we are talking about opening up to endless possibility. That's kind of the overall theme that we've been doing these last couple weeks. And today, specifically focusing on the awareness of creation. So last week, we talked about positive and negative energy. This false sense of happiness, toxic positivity versus authentically happy. What is that? And also using the negative energy, negative emotions as ways to open ourselves up to be able to grow and expand instead of only focusing on aiming for the positive.
I'm so
No negative
positive.
vibes.
Look at the
Light
world
and love.
unfolding goodness around me.
Is that how you wake up every morning?
Every morning I say that to myself in that voice.
It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Sometimes I
Just
drop
go back to
lower.
bed.
Welcome. No, anyway.
So folks, so awareness of creation. We kind of touched on awareness last week with being aware of the positive and negative energy and not meddling with things right away. If we notice an emotion coming through, there can be this tendency to automatically jump into action because we're experiencing discomfort. And this could be, we talked about having lots of happiness can be uncomfortable, not just grief, but the fear of losing happiness. We want to cling to it. We want to cling to all these wonderful circumstances because we know
don't
that.
trust it being out in the world because people are going to try and take it from you.
Yeah. Yes. So
Grr.
what is an appropriate time to simply be aware of the energy as the observer versus being aware of, oh, there's actually something that I can create from this.
Right. Just awareness of the space that you're in energetically to funnel that energy towards, like that vacant spot. Like when we say we want or need something, like what is it that we actually want or need? Like we can talk all day about, oh, I'd love to make $1 million a day or $1 million a year and things like that. But what are you really seeking? Like, what is that space, that vacancy need to be filled with? And it's usually independence and, the emotional freedom of being able to choose what you want when you want it.
And hey, we can have that without money.
Exactly. And it has nothing to do with money.
Yeah. So I kind of want to back up a little bit because we use these words, and if you've been in my classes before or we've been in a one-on-one session, I usually ask, what do you mean by that? Or how do you define this word? So awareness, how in this moment, how would we define awareness? What is awareness?
I think it's a general... Awareness a lot of times involves a lot of seeking. Finding the root of what we're actually feeling. and then just knowing that.
I would say it would be the step before the seeking of we need to be able to see, sense, perceive energy in the form that it's taking to then know how to respond. Otherwise, I see as like we're shooting in the dark and just reacting to
Right.
energies coming up and what's my natural instinct on how to make it go away or to keep it.
I feel
tight
like
to me.
awareness runs the whole gamut
Yeah.
of things. It's understanding that you're having a feeling, investigating that feeling, becoming aware of what that feeling truly is and what it's rooted in, and then resolution of that feeling. All of that is awareness. And it takes a lot of patience to be that self-aware at all times.
Yeah. I like how you use the word patience because we can't have awareness without being present. We need to be able to pause long enough to be able to observe what the heck is happening, right? If we have a situation that happened, we're experiencing a lot of grief and we're dealing with that discomfort of the grief by working extra hours and cleaning the whole house and, and spending time with all these people without pausing, then eventually, if we allow space to take place in that silence, then we start to feel the grief come to the surface. But we can, and what we're learning as yoga practitioners or whatever practice you do is to induce that awareness. Don't wait for that awareness to be so strong that it takes hold of us and you will pay attention to me, right? Because that's where,
mine.
oh.
There you
Listen
go.
here, Alina. Don't wait for that because that's when a lot of the suffering, that's the rock bottom when the awareness finds us. And so every day, if we are in that pause and looking and feeling and sensing how is the energy at play right now without trying to control or move it first, then that's when we can get all that information, I think, of the self-discovery and
the silence and stillness.
Yeah.
And that can happen momentarily too. It doesn't have to be like a long meditative practice. I tell my employees all the time at work when they start getting stressed out, just stand still for a minute and take a deep breath and then go back to what you're doing.
Oh, I feel so much better. I think there's something to this. That's what I feel so much better. So that's awareness. So how do we define creation? Feels like awareness is step one, creation can be step two.
Well, it depends on what you're dealing with, but a lot of times creation is going to be the process of taking that energy and transmuting it into what you would like to see. It's like working in inverse. You become aware of where you're at, you become aware of where you want to be, and then you use the exact same energy of where you're at and invert it into what you want it to be.
And the what we want it to be, I think, is unless we have the awareness of the full spectrum of awareness. Do I want this because I'm afraid? And is that the place I'm creating from? I think we talked about that last week too. Or are we creating from a place of openness and exploration and gratitude? It's not trying to fill a hole. It is realizing that we're whole and we're just here to play around.
Right. And you can create from comfort as well. Like you could be in a completely comfortable place and use that comfort, the energy of that comfort, to make things more comfortable.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a flip. It's just a gradual transmutation of energy. We all do it every day. So that's what the toxic positivity is all about.
Yeah.
But don't go that path because you're just masking things.
And
unless you're truly working that energy.
And I would say too, let me know if you agree with this, but the the feminine and masculine aspect of creation, where I would see the masculine is the going outward, the thinking, the planning, the creation, taking it from here and then putting it out there. Whereas the feminine would be the internal creation in the stillness and working with the emotion to expand and connect with nature in a different way and to connect with other beings in that way.
I believe that in this specific scenarios that we're talking about, the feminine is the awareness and the masculine is the transmutation.
Okay.
It's knowing versus acting. And both are equally necessary in all aspects of our life. But people get scared away by being too feminine or being too masculine. And
Yeah. Maybe a different way to...
it just depends on where you're at in the moment.
Yeah. Maybe a different way to get to the point I'm at is that we can create from the inside out or the outside in. The awareness of something's happening out here, which is bringing up something in here. I'm not going to try to change that. I'm going to go in here and create from this space versus, okay, now there's something happening inside of here. How can I bring that out and start to change matter and how matter is organized?
If we're talking about it in the purely feminine and masculine aspects, you call the masculinity back in, and then you use that internally. And then the feminine becomes aware of the adjustments and changes that take place, and then that information is shared, obviously, with the masculine, and then it decides again, do we stay internal or do we go external?
Analogy. So like the masculine's the hunter-gatherer of the information, and then they bring that information, the carcass of the deer back into the home, which then the feminine internally creates something from that in that space.
The feminine energy also has the inert ability to just know, as opposed to having need to be fed, but it has to become aware of itself. And a lot of times that's what's lacking in feminine energy, is that the knowing is already there. And all you have to do is tap into it. With the masculine, the impulse to act is always there. The control aspect of that is that you only act when necessary.
It could be like creating from human intellect versus intuition.
Right.
So we can, many of us are used to creating from intellect. What's the most practical response to the situation? What have I been trained to do, or what have I seen in the world, and that's how I need to respond? That's the most appropriate response here. Versus from the feminine, it might be the most impractical response that we could ever take, but it's the one rooted in spirit versus rooted in human survival.
But that's the danger of allowing the feminine to be the knower and the actor, is because things will be acted on emotionally as opposed to acted on logically. And the danger of the masculine being alone in the situation, like having complete control, is that it's just going to act like a maniac.
Can you say more about it? Because I think that's a big point that you just made, of the feminine reacting from emotion versus intuition.
Yeah, well, knowing something creates an emotion within the feminine character, and that's not intuition. That's the physical taking control of the situation. Because we're in these bodies, we tend to think that the things unseen are the spiritual. And emotions are not necessarily spiritual. They are energy, which is in itself spiritual, but so is acting. So is, taking a hammer and a nail and building a wall or something. that's energy. We know that because it's observable, but we don't know about emotions. It's the more hidden, it's the more occult of the ideas of human nature. I kind of am getting off track here on your question.
Well, no, I mean,
but-
I don't think you are. And I think that the emotional energy can trick the feminine side of us that says, this is intuition.
Right.
We can confuse emotion with intuition and think that we're being drawn in a certain direction because we feel a certain way. But if we are truly in balance and observing the emotion, we feel the same, or I don't want to use the word feel, how we would respond to this situation would be the same with or without that emotion, right?
Right.
So if we're feeling excited about moving to a different town, and oh, I can meet this, and I do this, and I can create this, and we feel joy and excitement, and that's encouraging us to go. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't go and we should ignore those feelings, but it also can
requires
mean
examination.
observe, be aware of the emotion, and see if once we start to bring in some of the practicality, does that change the emotional energy? Once the masculine comes in and gives us that, does that change the emotion? And what is our intuition telling us? What are our visions showing us? What is our body telling us? What are these maybe seemingly off the wall perspectives that we're getting that could be for or against moving to a different town? And everybody perceives intuition differently. If my emotion is telling me, hey, go do this, but then I'm getting these visions or hearing these things like, then that's the voice I'm going to do my best to listen to. and then opening up to what the intuition is saying may start to level off some of that emotional energy, so we can act from the feminine intellect versus emotional reaction.
Right. A lot of that has to do, there's a lot of ways this conversation can go. And you can think about, yourself in your early 20s versus yourself now, and what you would act more on your emotions in your youth. It takes a certain period of time to become emotionally balanced or emotionally intelligent. They use that term a lot these days, emotional intelligence. They,
the deciders of the words.
if we don't practice emotional intelligence in our youth, that's why we have a lot of situations in this world with promiscuity and things like that. But how many times in your life prior to your older ages, I don't know how old people are that are listening right now, but did you ever stop and think before acting on your sexual impulses? Did you pause? Did you take a moment and say, am I doing this solely based on the emotion of this situation? And we like to think that relationships are solely emotional, but they're not. They're so much more complex than that. And your relationship with yourself still has to come first. So, there's a lot of that goes on in this world with the youth right now in promiscuity and other drug use. I mean, there's a lot of that. Are you really helping yourself? Are you trying to make yourself feel something better than what you feel in your day-to-day life? Or is your your energy crying out for something totally different, but you never took the moment to examine it.
The temporary high that comes with whether it's sexual experiences or alcohol or drugs, anything like that, or even like vacationing, like
Or food.
in Christmas. This is always something I witness in Christmas. Is why I used to get food. Observe people around Christmas time. They're so high, they're so elevated, and then the day after Christmas, a lot of
Everything
people
just,
like it's not.
collapses.
Is it seasonal affective disorder, or are we took our energy way up here and then it plummeted down because we're not happy with our lives outside of these emotional stimuli that are taking place? And so we are kind of going on this different tangent, but I think it's appropriate to really ask ourselves, is this coming from an emotional response? Am I reacting to something because right now it feels good, versus am I creating from a space of emotional intellect, of balance, of spiritual awareness, of, I like to ask the question, why are we here? And once we have that, whether it's we have words to describe that, or if it's simply a feeling, that's the space that we need to operate from. Like for me,
Right.
I say I am here to learn how to love myself and others unconditionally. And it always has to come back to that. And sometimes that means having really blissful experiences. And sometimes that means, laying down on the couch and crying and witnessing the emotions and, then the messiness. And that's also that is that space of learning to love myself and others unconditionally.
I think that the proper follow-up question, this is something I've been practicing recently, is in every situation of impulse to ask yourself, what am I causing? Like what are the results? You don't have to phrase it like that. Like, oh, if I do this, then what? And like, just ask yourself, what am I causing? What am I causing? And don't look at just yourself. Look at other lives around you. Look at the energy of the space around you. Are you going to be depressed about the choices that you're making? Are you going to be, and then take it to the other people in these situations, like how are they going to feel afterwards? And it probably takes a lot of practice to do all this in the matter of a few seconds in your mind, or one deep breath, but you have to be at least aware in that situation that there are causes to every single action, and that there's effects to every single action. So you don't have to find the effect, just ask what you're causing.
It's interesting that you use the word cause over creation, because that feels like it has more oomph to it.
Well, creation sounds more flowery.
Well, it does, and it does, and cause. What are we causing? And it feels like more of a punch, like it acknowledges the impact that we have. And with what you just said, action doesn't necessarily have to mean physical movement.
Right.
It can be thoughts that we agree with, or deny. And that in itself can cause, I would say it does, cause reaction beyond the thought. It's the ripple effect. So if the thought is, I'm a failure, then that ripple effect takes that information and it sends it out into the universe. Just that one thought. And this isn't to make us paranoid, but maybe also for us to really understand energy through the thought. And that I don't think we can create without thought, without
Well, yeah,
the mind.
the thought is the action.
Yeah. And are we creating from
Like even if you use the word mind to describe the brain and body know what is needed. Mm-hmm. That's the feminine. The thinking part is the masculine.
Mm-hmm. The autonomic part, you would say, would be the
your heart beats. Do you know that?
Yeah. let me try to make my heart beat.
How often do you pay attention to your breathing and your heart and your blood moving through your veins, and all of that is the feminine.
And it's the power subtle aspect of the thought is, because I was getting heart palpitations over the weekend, so I was able to work with this. So if my heart was automatically beating in response to the trigger that was taking place, then the thinking mind, that masculine mind, knew that it was the one in control, because will overpowers everything, that I told myself that I'm in control of this heart and I'm going to beat it back into balance.
With a stick. Get back in balance.
And guess what? It worked. And I like to create simplicity from a place of simplicity, because all of this feels too complex to me to try to manifest a car or, a job or so, so manifesting in the smallest sense will send that information out into the universe. So if I can, through the thinking mind, control the pace in which my heart beats, then I am able to control other elements in this universe that go beyond this heart. And that's the same thing with the breath. That's why in meditation, we start with controlling the breath. We observe it. What is the breath doing? Getting in touch with it. And then how can I control the breath, make it do things to my will that is of benefit, that is positive for how I want to feel on the other side of this. Do I want to feel calm? I'm going to, through will of the mind, breathe a certain way. Do I want to feel energized? I'm going to breathe a certain way.
Yep. That's the first thing you can become aware of being able to control.
Yeah.
It's the simplest.
And we tend to, I think, because manifestation has become a buzzword, we're manifesting from a bigger sense, but we don't know how to control our breath. We don't know how to control our hearts.
Which means we don't know how to control our manifestations either.
So if we're wanting to create different situations in our lives, then we need to start with what's happening inside of here first. Until we master this, there's no way we can get out there and create anything that we want out there. And that's why I think people get caught, because we talk about manifest this and do this, and it's all, you just have to think about what you want and visualize and
yeah, but that always comes back to the you're giving energy to the fact that you're lacking something as well.
So not only are you going to manifest, maybe you'll get a new car, but maybe that car is going to die the day after you get it.
That's happened to me a few times.
And then you're back to that feeling that you had before. So is it the car that you're actually manifesting, or is it the reverberation of the fear that you already feel inside of you? What is the universe teaching back to you? We know we can create. What do we want to create? And that feminine intuition gets us in touch with, what are we actually creating from? Are we aware that fear exists, and this is why I'm making these decisions, is because I'm afraid? And if I am afraid, let's change that mode of operation, watch the fear, and what can I create from outside of that fear? Is it calmness in my body? How would it feel to observe that fear because I don't have a car right now? And can I be okay with that?
What am I going to do?
Right. And then when we get to, you have situations like this too, where once we relax, what we need drops in our lap.
Yeah.
It's just, if the Father will feed the birds, surely He will make sure that you have a car to serve your purpose in this world. Or challenge us to learn how to get around without a car. And that is the greatest blessing that we can do. Teaches us reliance on other people, teaches us resourcefulness. Maybe that's what we need in order to evolve. Are we willing to do that? Are we willing to do what may feel most challenging, knowing it's for our highest good? And that's a place that I think creation really helps us grow at an exponential rate. When it's not creating from, I want this, gimme, gimme, gimme. It's, why am I here? And am I actually dedicated enough to let any circumstance come my way, knowing that I'm going to learn what I need to learn to anchor into
a lot
why
of
I'm
times
here.
you don't know the circumstances surrounding what drops into your lap. So stop trying to figure it out.
And it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Right? We don't need
still
to figure anything out.
But you're like, ooh, how did that happen?
Yeah. The Lord delivereth.
The great, great all.
Anything
And
else?
that's a wrap, folks.
Yeah.
She just pointed a gun at my head.
Oh, it was a click.
Oh, I thought you went.
Please engage with us. Thank you so much for all your comments last week. Let us know what you're learning alongside of us. Let's kind of create a thread here in the comments. So what's coming up for you? What have you observed when you create from a place of emotional reactivity versus that intuitive intellect? And how do you learn to distinguish the difference between the two of those? So we're going to continue this conversation next week. I think Monday at 9 is going to be when we will be live with you again. If you're on Facebook, you can always shoot over to YouTube to get the full catalog of our talks, our not so serious spirituality talks. It's under
It's not
that
serious
section.
at all.
Not
Don't worry.
serious
It's
at
just
all.
your life.
So serious. But yeah, and please help us grow this community by hitting that like button. You can share this video, commenting always helps. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to us so you can get notifications on future postings.
And have a cheesecake.
Have a cheesecake. Mark your calendars, please, for August 8th.
2006.
Portal.
2026.
2026, despite what the misprint says on the posters. Our Create Community Peace Fest is 8/8 from 2 p.m. until 8:30, although we're going to open our doors a half an hour early to start with some healing sessions too. So we'll be announcing more of that soon, but visit our website, ordinarypioneer.com, for all that info.
Word.
Meditate.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Please join us. We'll take a collective breath in and release as one. Just take a moment to observe your breath. Not creating in this moment, simply observe the movement, the sensations, vibration. And then begin to create through deepening your breath, sending the inhale down into your belly. Think fullness, openness, expansion on the inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to create release and freedom. So tune into the energy of the breath as you inhale and exhale, creating expansion on the inhale, and exhale, releasing and freeing yourself from any bondage that holds you back from anchoring into why you are in this moment. And together, take a deep breath in. Release as one.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap. Any last words?
I just said them.
Oh, okay. You heard it here, folks.
That's right.
Much love.